So I was getting photographs all day long of Mac and what he was up to. And they were down at the beach. And then I think they stopped by the poop deck. You have a baby at a bar. Mac has this fake phone that he likes to act like he's taking selfies with.
Stop.
So the bouncer at the bar he saw was giving stamps. So he wanted a stamp. And then as he's getting a stamp, he was taking a selfie. Hey guys, welcome to the official YouTube page for Calm Down with Erin and Charissa. This is where you can watch all of our ridiculous conversations and fun interviews.
We have full shows. We've got pre-games, anything and everything that you guys could want. But first, you're going to have to subscribe. Just hit subscribe right there and you're good to go.
And now you can calm down with us.
Yep. Can you tell that we're reading this off a script? We hope so. All right. We need to calm down and wrap this bad boy up. Press subscribe. Thanks for listening.
Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio. Welcome. Did you go to that Buffalo restaurant?
No, we didn't go this time because Wit and Fitz actually had this incredible event that they hosted, and Stevie Johnson came, and I met some incredible people in Buffalo. And Fitz, of course, is the mayor of that town. And so they did sort of like a live podcast thing, and it was so much fun. It was at this brewery, and yeah, we just had a great time. So we didn't end up going to the one that we told you, Mulberry. I'm going to get it
was
wrong.
So good. Fitz set it up for us last time we went. It was amazing.
Yeah, really good. Welcome everybody to the Calm Down podcast. It is it's about to be week 4 in the NFL. Week 3 is in the books for both my gal and I. We have a lot to talk about on this podcast. Erin was in Chicago. I was in Buffalo. We will talk about our outfits because apparently people want to know what we're wearing.
Really?
I always think like, do you really? But okay, give the people what they want. A bird delayed Erin in Chicago. We had some dropping of the wine. I have some droppings on the other side, and I don't mean animal droppings on the other side of my fence over here. We're going to have a real neighborhood brawl here shortly. I will talk about that and a whole lot more. Plus, we've got some great headlines. So let's get right to it, my gal.
Let's do it.
You were in Chicago. You had the Cowboys, Bears.
Wow.
Cowboys. Unfortunately, CeeDee Lamb, as you reported, went out with an injury and suffered a loss, but the Bears got their first win of the season.
Wow. Caleb Williams looks amazing. Dallas defense felt bad. Couldn't get off the field. Man, that was tough. It was just, yeah. And then I had sat down with Dak the night before and talked to him about how excited he is for the weapons he has on this offense, his relationship that he has with Brian Schottenheimer. You know, they had the fumble or the punch, and then the Bears, get points off of that turnover. And then obviously the George Pickens one, and then CD goes down. So you see that happening to the offense, and they can't stop the bleeding on the defense. But then on the other side of things, holy moly. I mean, the Bears had so many explosive plays. That was crazy. Chicago's a good time. What did it look like from your vantage point there in the studio?
Yeah, in the studio, I just kept thinking, God, there was so many wild games that, I mean, like an NFL record number of games came down to the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The 5 field goals that ended up winning or losing someone the game. It was crazy. We'll get into that in a second. But as far as Caleb Williams goes, I imagine that he woke up Monday morning and was like, thank you. Just like that massive
Ben Johnson
weight
too.
That he's right. The massive weight that both those guys have been carrying on their shoulders, where it's like, and I feel so bad too. We had Drew Brees in the studio this weekend, and I was excited to have him in because it's just always nice to get, someone like that, 13-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion.
He did a great job with you guys.
Yeah, I know. I hope that he hangs out with us more often because it's playing the quarterback position in the NFL, arguably the most difficult position in all of sports to play. The number of things, and if you've ever watched, I know you have, but for our listeners, have watched the quarterback series on Netflix, and they do this fun thing where it's like they show like the verbiage and the vernacular that these guys have to do and the different checkdowns at the line of scrimmage, and they're doing all of this within a matter of seconds. And so I look at that position, and we live in a world like so many things, not just in sports, but the immediacy in which you have to have success. And if you don't, it's next man up. You're replaceable. We'll get someone else in here, whether it's at the head coaching position, whether it's quarterback quarterback position, GM, whoever. So for Caleb Williams, the pressure of being the number 1 overall pick the last couple of years, through that organization, not just for him, obviously he was the number 1 pick last year, but there's been a ton of turnover at the head coaching position. So you bring Ben Johnson in and he's supposed to just save the day week 1. And it's like, stuff takes a minute. I don't care any kind of relationship, So I was just happy. I'm not a Bears fan. I was happy for both of them to wake up and feel a little bit of relief of like, can you get off our backs? We'll get this thing going. And then just to see, when organizations are able to hopefully for their sake and for the fan base to get that thing turned around, because it's been a long time since the Bears have been good. And I mean, this goes back pre-Jay Cutler days. So I know that organization is ready to have some success, and hopefully for them, this is the start of something. Do I work for the Bears? Okay. Anyways.
No, it's true. You go to these organizations that have been through it, and they have such a rich history of success in this fan base. I think Kevin at one point said, I don't remember, they were up big in the game, and he just said, no Bears fan, like you can take a breath, it was something like funny like that. But yeah, you see these people, they just want to win so bad. And these are the fan bases that when you get to town are like, what do you think? And I'm like, I don't play. I mean, I just observe what's happening and report it, or, listen in these meetings, like talk to Tom, talk to, our guys in the studio and so forth. But yeah, they're just dying for some success here.
Tom, speaking of that, it was actually funny because he said, the wild west that is the NFL, and every week to week, it's something different. Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts are undefeated. And then you've got all these, the 2 blocked field goals, and you've got the Eagles winning in the last second, and you've got the Jets, or the Bucks winning. And it's like all this stuff. And I remember Tom in the broadcast yesterday, it goes, it's like all my buddies ask me for fantasy football advice. And then it's like, when I get it wrong, they're like, man, you got it wrong. And it's like, because there's parity. Like every week it's something different. And it's why it's the best, my humble opinion, the best sport out there, because every week matters, and any game can come down to that last second field goal or block kick or turnover or whatever it is. So such a fun week in the NFL. I was in Buffalo. I had the great pleasure of going to Buffalo in September. I was so excited when our schedule came out.
It looked great. I'm glad it was a game. You looked fabulous. The wings contest was hysterical. Hysterical. Tony.
Poor Tony. So Tony almost got decapitated when we were in Miami last year. We were in these go-karts. He had this like strap go around his neck. Actually really scary.
Yeah.
He was like burned on his neck. And I was like, dude, this could have been so bad. So it's for our, our post-game show, our TNF show, we always like to do something fun. And so this whole idea of these hot wings, Tony was the guy from the beginning that was like, I don't want to do this because I don't even like anything hot. I'm like, what are the chances it lands on you? Of course it lands on him. And let me tell you, I like hot stuff. And afterwards I was like, how hot can it be? I put it to my lips, Erin, and it was scorching my lips. So I actually felt really bad for him. But you mentioned it was a game. It was a game. It was at halftime. It was tied all the way up until late in the third quarter. And then it was like, oh my God, like, are we asking for Tua to the desk after? Are we asking for, it's like, again, on any given Thursday, Sunday, or Monday. But for that Miami fan base, I know that there's more questions than there are answers. But the conversation like we were having is like Mike McDaniel, is he on the hot seat? They went into Buffalo, a place that they have not won in so long. I mean, Buffalo's had their number and they held their own. So I know there's a lot of things that they want to clean up. Sometimes it comes down to the Jimmies and Joes, and it's not even about the X's and O's. Do you have the personnel to play in this league? And especially in that in that division. But anyways, it was a great game. It ended up being a much closer game. I think the spread was like 12.5 and they ended up losing by 10. But Josh Allen, can I just give Josh Allen a shout out?
Please.
This is reigning MVP of the league. He is a class act in every sense of the word. I just adore him. He is everything that the NFL is so lucky to have some of these guys represent their league. And he is anything you ask him to do, if you want, him and Fitz have such a great relationship, but like we get up there and Deion Dawkins is like talking to Witt and they're talking, their offensive lineman talk. And out of the corner of my eye, Josh Allen is just like slowly unbuttoning Fitz's shirt. Like,
He's
and they're
so
just
cute.
like two goofy guys like up there having fun. Anyways, Buffalo's fans are one of one. Such a great place. And last time we'll be in Highmark Stadium, which is a really cool stadium to be in. I saw their new stadium, which is right next door. That thing is a beast. It looks like a spaceship landed in the middle of Orchard Park. And you're like, it looks a lot like Allegiant Stadium, which will be so fun for them because, in that town, it's not like there's a bunch of shiny, brand new buildings and things. It's like, and now you've got this gorgeous stadium. So for the players, for the community, they deserve all of that because some of the best fans in the league are there. So that's where I was. Where are you headed this week? I don't even know.
Oh, Tampa, old stomping grounds. The Bucks, Baker Mayfield.
Great game. Eagles?
Hoping the news about Mike Evans comes back okay with that hamstring. We talked about it in the pregame show. The best part of this job is getting to know these guys and appreciate that they put their bodies on the line. The worst part of this job is seeing them go down because I have kind of a behind the scenes look with my husband and what he, put his body through, and to know these guys and, what they do in the off season, preparation, time away from their families. And when you get news today that Nick Bosa's out for the year, James Conner and some of the others, it's just heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. And then they go through a whole mental thing, let alone the physical aspect to get back. And it's so difficult.
It was interesting. I don't follow her. It came up on an algorithm of Instagram. Austin Eckler's wife actually did this video of like what happens once a player gets hurt, right? Like you forget the fact that like, especially if it's a season-ending injury, their wife is sitting there, but then you got to go pack up your house and now you're going to go get the surgery and rehab somewhere else and you're moving and all these different things. And so it was just kind of, behind these reports that come out, there's a whole family and life, and especially if you have kids and all the other things, and obviously, as you just articulated all too well on that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's more than just like, oh man, this guy went down, that sucks for my fantasy league. It's like, well, that sucks for him. Who I think about? Those Olympic athletes where they have trained for 4 years for that 1/10 of a second or that one moment on the balance beam or off a diving board. And then when they don't have success, you're like, oh my God, think about all of those mornings they got up so early and trained. And anyways, I just have so much respect for athletes, and it's not like, oh, they get paid a lot of money. Okay, knock it off. Okay, there's a lot of people that can get paid a lot of money and don't do as much work. Anyways, I hope for Mike Evans and for that team that he gets better, because you saw him in the tunnel and he like threw his helmet. So, but that's going to be a great game.
Sure. Bucks hosting the Eagles.
Yeah.
The only downside to it's a 1:00 tilt.
Darn it.
And in Tampa.
Oh, baby girl.
Whoa, baby. Yeah. It's just hard. It's just, I worry about my guys, my guys that are on the field, my camera guys, the security guys. Everybody's like trying to play hero, right? We're just trying to get through it. Our camera guys that are holding the handhelds, they're heavy and they're just running up and down. They're running with the players. And last year we were there for week 4 and my handheld guy, Phil, he was just all red in the face and I knew his eyes were a little red. And I just said, Russo, Rich Russo is our director. You have to make him drink water. And like, you just forget. So yeah, you got to be like really, really careful. Hopefully the temps aren't that bad, but man, those games are tough. And it'll be interesting to see with how Philly deals with it. Last year, week 4, they had a really hard time with the heat. So it's going to be a big storyline.
It is, and that was the similar kind of storyline that we were talking about with Glazer was actually reporting this on our pregame when we were in Kansas City about Nick Sirianni making it a point of emphasis for his players. Because in Kansas City, it was 90. This over the weekend, because again, where I sit for game breaks, I have access to all the games, and they had taken a shot in Tampa of the thermometer, and it was 110 degrees on the field. Not that you want to, I don't need to tell you, you've done this before. So what are we wearing?
All cream. We were going to go black pants. So if you sweat through them, at this point, I'm just doing cream. If you see me sweat through my pants, it happens.
Yeah.
I tell you what I am going to wear, because it's just beastly hot. Like last week, I literally sat with my binder up or this because the sun is just on you and it's like, and it's your face, it's your hair, it's just everything. So I think when I'm not on camera, I'm going to wear like what we wore like in south of France. I'm just going to wear it. And when I'm on camera, I'll take it off. But it's
really, why take it off? I loved you wore a hat last year.
Miami Vice. What are you doing?
Oh, I like it.
Well, we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see how she goes. But sometimes it's just nice to have shade on yourself, you know?
You know what's also nice is the way that you dress on the sideline. Like it is a professional gig that you have. And
Love
I
you.
love how much time and effort you put into your outfits because you love what you do and it is reflected in your outfit. As Erin has always taught me along the way, where it's like invest in. It's not about like, oh, spending money on clothes. The clothes could not have a high
I'm
price
wearing a
tag
Zara
and
top
still
this
look
weekend.
exactly. But it's that you look and you dress for the job that not only you have, but that you, or not only that you want, but you have. So I always love
pride
the
in
way
it.
you dress. Exactly.
Thank
That's a
you.
good way to
You
say
as
it.
well. That purple number in studio was glorious.
How about Bobby, the audio
Was
guy?
that a
who's
velour?
saying- He goes like this and he was like, "Are you going to a ball after this?"
You
And
looked great.
Terry walked on the set and he goes, "What is that, velvet?" I go, "Terry, you're not, there's no way you're quoting Coming to America." He just actually was asking if it
Said
was
it.
velvet. I'm going to tell you what it was. It was a beautiful Alex Perry dress, who I love,
Gorgeous.
that designer, that I wore in a commercial with Gronk last year. And I was like, why, going back to recycling things, who do I think I am that I can't wear this gorgeous dress that I wore in a commercial that was 20 seconds, that I can't recycle that and wear that again? So, anyways, thank you. So that's what I wore for my, for in the Sunday show. Do you outfit details?
Well,
this past
so you
weekend?
did that for Sunday. What did you do Thursday? And then I'll give you mine.
Shop Op, who I love.
You looked great.
I love Shop Op. I have a great partnership with them for Amazon. They are so incredible.
You do.
They will ship anything to me anytime. If the weather changes, I just cannot say enough good things. And if you guys have not went on their app, it's incredible.
I'm pulling up what you wore because it was so good.
Thank you. So many good designers on there. This one was Monse. Maybe I'm pronouncing that wrong. Monse.
It's so good.
Because again, it was hot in Buffalo, still 80-something degrees. So I wanted to wear shorts, but I didn't want to wear like short shorts. And so these were like kind of, what do they call them? Bermuda shorts, where they're longer?
I don't know. This photo of you looking up at the sidelines as you're walking, God, it's gorgeous.
So you're going to shout out to Cooper. He's so great. He's a photographer. And I am not that person. You know me. Like, I don't love that. But he's always like, just walk, just do your thing and I will take the picture. Or when I sit on the desk, he's like, just look somewhere and I will do it. Because I always feel like an idiot as some of these guys are like warming up and I'm like walking around like I'm like, it's about me. But the reality is like, these are beautiful clothes and my relationship with Shop Up, I should, make sure that I represent the outfit well. So anyways, it was a little different. Like it was at a cross thing, whatever. Thank you. But Steve always names my outfits. He's so weird. You know how his nickname for me is Linda? And my nickname for him, of course, is Tommy. It's our ranch names. He texts me all caps, Lindiana Jones.
Not even close. You looked so good. I want that. But the problem again for me, we talked about it. I can't wear a heel on the field.
Yeah,
and
you have
can't
to have
be
a heel with
rocking
that.
And like
you have to have a heel with that.
Yeah.
But I did laugh. And Sherm goes, Jumanji? I said, you guys are funny.
You look so good.
I loved it.
I thought it was great. And to your point, I recycled a number. I took a page out of your and Kate Middleton, 2 great pages to take, 2 books. Page. What are you know where I'm going with this. I wore this top and skirt. I think it was Givenchy, gorgeous. But I had worn it in a sit down with Patrick Mahomes for our Arizona Super Bowl. So it's like, why can't I recycle this? It's gorgeous.
Your legs, I text you about it. It's your sit down that you were doing with Dak that you wore that. It is, your legs were looking.
Oh, love you. A lot of makeup on him, but thank you. Thank you.
How about all the makeup that comes off on I got to stop using white towels. All the makeup that comes off on the white towels from my leg, like, cause I'll forget that I had put the leg makeup on. This happened to me last night when I came home. So obviously full scrub down, whatever. But then I forget that I put it on my legs. And so I get out of the shower and I'm like, shit. So then I get back in the shower. I'm scrubbing it off. I think I get it all off. It's still on the white towels.
Yeah. I get it on the white towels when it's on my neck. I'm like, oh no, it's all the way back there.
But then I always have this theory about white towels because I'm like, hotels have a lot of shit that ends up on them. And it's like, they always have white towels because you can bleach them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I know. So you're going to
great.
Tampa. All right. I'm going to Arizona. I'm very excited to go to Arizona. I get to see my niece. She's in college there, Sienna.
I didn't know
so
that.
I know, I'm so excited because the boys will bring like their kids, like, for a game or something like that. And so Sienna's going to be my kid for the game. So she's going to come around with me and see what I do. And I know I was like, do you want to bring someone to the game? And she goes, no, I just want to hang out with you, which is so sweet. So
sweet.
I will,
That'll be exciting.
The Seahawks, which of course she was born and raised in Seattle. So there's a family connection there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I also am looking forward to that hour and 15-minute flight. So I'll take that any day. Week 4. You had some troubles getting home last night, my little angel, which is a big storyline always for us, is the travel hell sometimes that specifically you go through.
Yeah. I had never had this happen in all my years of traveling, and I've seen a lot. But thankfully, it was a good and safe ending. But my plane, when it landed in Chicago for us to board, we noticed there was a delay. First of all, I want to give a shout out to sweet, sweet Erin from American Airlines Concierge Quiche. She is fantastic. She loves you, big fan of yours, but she bailed us out. She took us right to the gate last night as we were supposed to board, and she just said, hold on one second, please. Ran to the front, disappeared for a minute, and said, okay, grab your bags. We've had a bird strike. A bird strike? What happened? The birds are angry with O'Hare?
Oh,
no, a bird or several birds got into the engine
of
our plane. Yikes.
Sad.
They had to clean up that situation, figure it out. And sweet Erin was like, I got to get you home. I'm putting you on another airline to get you out. You have Mac waiting. She took care of my boys. But I had never, a bird strike's interesting. That was the first time I had ever heard that before.
Yeah, I'm sure it happens a lot. I mean, think about it, but that's obviously very sad. It's a occupational hazard of flying an airplane in the sky where they live. But thank God for Erin. And that's another thing too. I know we talk a lot about flight attendants. And rightfully so. It's not just the flight attendants. It's that ticket agent. It's the hospitality service. I get so excited when they drive me to the plane and I feel like I'm Kate Middleton. I just feel like a real queen when our, whether it's American or Delta or whatever your preferred airline is, like traveling is hard enough. And so when you have those people, because think about all the shit that they have to deal with, because it's always complaints, it's always someone bitching. And so to have a positive attitude or go out of their way to like help us, I never ever take that for granted. So shout out to Erin. What a gal.
What a gal. Oh, and then from there, what a move. We're delayed getting out.
What a move.
Like 12:30. I was going, I think I fell asleep a little bit after the Chiefs game. And then I woke up and I was like, I should get some stuff. Grabbed my glass of wine I had not had a sip of yet. Went to drink it, went right through my hands and all over my brand new white sweatshirt, my white shoes, my socks, my jeans. And I was just like, it's cool. Like, this isn't going to affect me. I look like I had been involved in a very bad accident coming off the plane. So I get home.
Was it full frontal wine down?
Frontal, down the shoes, down the and like, there's nothing I could do to stop it. It was like just gushing everywhere. So I walk off the plane. I get in the car service. This is also 2.5 hours sitting in it, which was great. So I fully needed a shower anyway. Stopped at the laundry room, took everything off, shoved it in there, went to take a shower. By 2:00, I like have, I'm too jacked up to go to bed. And I'm like, la, 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 la. Didn't get much of it out. So that's a bummer, but whatever. You get that. Yeah.
There's got to be, is it like, I feel like people at home, what are like some tricks for red wine?
It turned black on my sweatshirt. So now it looks like, the Legend sweatsuit we had where it did look like we dropped Cabernet on it? It's that, but now it's like almost like gray tie-dye on there. I didn't see if I got out of the shoes. The ones I got it on.
I know.
Not great. Oh, well. Worst things.
When that happens to me, of course, but you know what? It always happens to me. I will spend the $75 on the white t-shirt, which I've always been adamant of, like, oh God, don't spend that much on a white t-shirt. Something's going to get on it, blah, blah, blah. It's the makeup, it's the this, it's the that. And I'm always like, without fail, it's the $75 as opposed to the Amazon $20 t-shirt that just lasts forever. So
great.
Yeah, whatever. We have, I was just going to say, as I was going to move on to headlines, but I have to say one thing. I'm looking out my window right now, you guys. So I have a couple neighbors. I'm like surrounded by neighbors. They're like, welcome to California. It's not like we have some, spacious area.
And do you get along with them?
One on the one fence line. Yeah. I don't know this one. They just sold the house. I used to have an issue with the previous owner, but they moved. Now we got a new one in, which this brings me to, do I knock on the door and I'm like, hi, I'm your neighbor. Like, let me bring you something, because let me tell you, when I was, oh my God, okay. Everyone settle in. Because once I go on a tangent, now here we go. I'll get back to the issue with the neighbor over here in a second. The aforementioned James Conner. So he was a house and home client. I was redoing his house. He wasn't there. He had just gotten to the Cardinals. I'm doing like a 48-hour makeover. Woo! I got to get in. I got to get out. The doorbell rings. Cutest little family standing there with a tray full of cookies. Hi, we're the Praters. We live next door. We wanted to welcome James to the neighborhood. Matt Prater's family. His adorable wife.
I was wondering.
Kids.
Yeah.
And
he's great.
Like, so sweet. And that got me thinking, like, this neighbor just moved in. Am I going over there with cookies? No, but should I? And then is it weird? And then in today's day and age, they probably think I've poisoned the cookie. Like, this is my first thought is them being like, but I probably should do that, right? Be neighborly and like go over there. No? Okay. Anyways, the issue that I have.
I'm not saying that it's bad you're not, but I don't know.
Okay. Let's take it to the streets.
Give yourself some grace, as you would say.
Okay. With the neighbor. Well, I'm about to call Grace and ask for help. She died 20 years ago.
She died, yeah.
There are these hedges, these really large hedges on my fence line over here. Well, they're not my plants. They're the neighbor's plants, okay? Well, they're creeping and impeding on my fence line. And I'm like, why is it that I got to trim and clean all these up when these are your stupid plants that are coming into mine and they grow so fast? So like I've trimmed them before because it's like, all right, whatever. I'm trimming these things all the time. So then my sweet gardener, who I love, he's like, we got no more room for all these things because I'm constantly having to, should I knock on their door and be like, hey, you got to pay for the cleanup over here? What is the etiquette on the branches and all the shit hanging on the other side of the fence line? That's what I want to know. Because right now I'm being surrounded. I have 3 houses as I'm looking right here. And on both of them, I got real issues with the trees coming into my neck of the woods.
I feel like it's the line from Steel Magnolias. You get those magnolias from my tree? The judge says they are my tree.
That's right. I'm shooting the birds out of it. Malin. Yeah, I don't know what the etiquette is. Maybe somebody that, knows etiquette books can tell me if I'm like, I'm
I'd love
responsible.
to meet that person.
I know. Hey, let's do 2 headlines or something before we get on out of here, shall we? Okay, here we go. The wedding day red flag indicates a couple will soon be divorced, according to wedding photographers. Here we go. Christopher Todd Griffiths. Such a wedding name. I love it. A Southern California-based wedding photographer with 20 years of experience. One of the most reoccurring red flags that I see is when either the bride or groom, usually the groom, really resists getting photos taken. It's not just camera shyness. They really are unwilling to cooperate. This is a huge red flag, and it suggests that they are not willing to participate in something that really matters to their partner. That makes total sense.
It does.
If on your wedding day, I tell you to take a picture with a goddamn clown, you better stand there and take a picture with a goddamn clown.
Make me a bicycle.
Make me a bicycle. This is my wedding day, and I thank God Steve is not the person that bitches about pictures. He really isn't. It takes a lot for him to bitch about pictures.
I don't think he bitches about much.
Okay, Steve's not perfect, but he does not bitch about pictures. There only comes a point where I've asked like for maybe the 5th person because I don't like the angle, and he's like, okay, enough of this. But yeah, if you're not taking pictures for your significant other on their wedding day when they want, like, I don't know, whatever it is that they want, then that does suggest we're gonna have issues moving forward. Because then what else are you going to bitch about in the future?
Yeah, I was just thinking this doesn't even this is a bad transition, but my husband was taking pictures of taking our child to the poop deck bar this weekend while I was waiting for Dak to arrive from their delay. I don't even think I told you that the Cowboys were delayed getting in because of everything that happened in Dallas with the air traffic control. So I was getting photographs all day long of Mac and what he was up to, and they were down at the beach. And then I think they stopped by the poop deck. You have a baby at a bar. Mac has this fake phone that he likes to act like he's taking selfies with.
Stop.
So the bouncer at the bar he saw was giving stamps. So he wanted a stamp. And then as he's getting a stamp, he was taking a selfie. I was like, Dak was so sweet. I was showing him pictures of my kid and I'm like, oh, see how big he is. Oh, and he's at a bar. Oh, he's taking a selfie with the bouncer. How's it going? Great.
I also have dogs surrounding me. There's dogs in every one of these yards. I got a real uproar in this neighborhood. I got to get out of here.
That's a neighborhood though. But do they bark much?
Yeah, all the time. And now this one's going to pipe up. Look at him.
Get him.
Oh yeah.
Get him. I like this one. Mom of 5 praised for her controversial rules. In a recent video, Stephanie Woodward shared her controversial rules, I can't say that word, for her kids when on summer vacation. The older boys have to do a math workout sheet every day. I don't want them to experience a summer slump. I like that. I don't think that's that bad. Kids have to lead the navigation, whether we are walking around a tourist area or a resort, have to be able to read a map. That's pretty cool.
That's great.
I love this. You have to stop and read aloud anytime you see a rule sign. I like this. Controversial. This just seems like common sense, by the way, making your kids accountable. Sounds like a plan.
I was just going to say, why is this controversial at all?
Yeah, it just sounds smart. I like this. We were recently at a water park. We will stop, read the signs that says all the rules before you go in. I think that's phenomenal.
Fantastic.
Who is this? I want to follow her. Great.
Yeah,
Stephanie, you're my gal.
What other parenting tips and tricks do you have? I think that's great.
Give me all of that.
You know what, though? That just goes to show you, no matter what, you could have a room full of people saving puppies from a burning building and someone's going to find something controversial about it. Is there anything in this world that's not controversial? Honestly, I would love to know. There is just people having a dissension just for the sake of dissension. No matter what. I'm not kidding. Like I could go and donate millions of dollars to some, orphanage. And it's like someone would find a problem with the money donation to an orphanage. Like, it's just everyone's going to find something wrong with something. Everyone's the fucking victim. I'm so bored. Okay, well, shout out to you, Stephanie Woodward. You are a dream. Before we get out
to John Calipari. We touched base with him today. And you know what? He misses us. He's great.
Coach
Cal, what's up?
What a dream. Hey, since we're doing shout outs before we get out of here, I know you were in Chicago at a restaurant and you wanted to say,
Oh yeah. This place is phenoms. We've been there 2 years in a row. They are fantastic. Ryan, our producer, I know you are in Chicago a lot. Where were we? Sorry.
No, Kurt wanted out.
Avili, I hope I'm saying that right. AVLI on the park. It's Greek Mediterranean. Fire. So fire. And then let me tell this really quick, because I'd love to get our listeners and even you into this. We were talking about on the pregame show what we do on Saturday night. So if we have a later kick, we usually have a good time, stay out a little bit later, have a couple glasses. And we did that at Avili. It was fantastic. So we started talking about music. And last week I watched the Dallas Giants game that Greg and Joe and Pam did to get ready for our game. And I noticed their music was fire on there, like going to break, going in and out of break. You notice that people use music, or sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Yeah. That is one of my favorite things to do when I listen to music, is be like, this is so good going to break.
Second quarter.
It is such a fun exercise. So then what we started to do as we were having this luxurious, fantastic wine that tasted like water is like, God, there was one song and there's a lot of cuss words in it, but people know what the song is. So I was like, if you start it in the beginning with just the instrumental, like beginning, everyone knows what that song is. So it'd be so hot to have this. And it's like, coming up, so-and-so's up 30 to, like, 7
whatever.
or something. And then you have like the nasty music. It's so good. So we were starting to think like, what's great music going in and out of break? And everybody was getting their Spotify out or Pandora.
Did you guys make a list?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
great.
Yeah.
We love a playlist around here.
If any of you at home, you're listening and you hear a banger or you hear a beat, send it our way and be like, this would be baller going to break. Like, like one of them, Buffalo Stance. It's an old 80s song. We love it so much. When we did our Bills game last year, we always hang in the Buffalo Stance. We do the jive every time we dance.
I don't know
give you
this.
love, baby, not romance. Or like Blow the Whistle. You want to play that when you do an Eagles game or things like that.
Sure.
But I love that stuff. So if you guys have a banger that you think would be good going in and out of break, remember, think about if there was a big turnover, like, something like, oops, I did it again. Like stupid crap like that.
Yeah.
Last night, they played a great one at Soldier Field. I forgot what it was. And I was like, try to remember. But anyways, I love that game.
Yeah. So if here's the request to the listeners, good songs, send them in, DM us.
Yeah.
All the things. We also need to make a new playlist for our Calm Down listeners. And I was just thinking, before we go, I almost peeled this scab off. This one is a doozy.
It's a Zitteroni.
Oh my God.
I've been getting them around my lips a lot lately. I don't know what that's all about.
Babe, I showed up yesterday morning at 5 o'clock to work and poor Brittany and Dominique looked at me like, what the hell is wrong? I've never had this happen before. I put on drying cream on this monster zit that I had. It must have got on my lip. My lip was so swollen. Like I should have taken a picture.
Yeah, I've had that.
You have?
Yeah.
It looked like I got my lips
and
done,
then my whole lip went out. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was like, oh my God, it's like seeping in. Anyways, but I'm working up a scab right here, and it's like a day and a half away from a little rip.
Did you get what was in there?
Oh yeah.
I
I got it. But it was definitely it was one of those where you're like, is this a spider bite? It's so big. But yeah, I'd never had that happen where my whole lip swollen because of it.
Couldn't tell. I was staring at that dress, girl.
Are you going to a ball after this? Is that a ball gown?
He looked great.
We're going to play ball. Play ball. I love you.
I love you too.
Have a great week, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio.
For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.